remember the Democrat convention, crickets when it came to talking about this crime and these riots and all this stuff, just absolutely nothing. Now suddenly it's a problem. Now suddenly they're treading water and turning around. And Biden made my favorite comment of all when he was asked about defunding the police. This is Joe Biden, cut 9.
If you watch the ads, I'm sure you've seen them, although a lot of Pennsylvanians are seeing them because there's a lot of ads out there right now. They would say that you want to defund the police, and it seems to be trying to frighten some folks. Can you set the record straight on that?
I not only don't want to defund the police, I'm the one calling for $300 million more for local police, for community policing. I also think we should add social workers and psychologists to help police on 911 calls. The only person calling to defund the police is Donald Trump. Look at his budget. He calls for cutting police funding for state and local help by $400 million. Once again, he's pathological.
Yeah, it's Donald Trump who it's Donald Trump who doesn't support the police. That's it. Donald. Yeah. Was that guy who used to lie on SNL? Who's just like, yeah, that's it. It's Donald Trump who doesn't want to. Even Al Sharpton Jr., the worst person in the country. Well, he's not the worst person in the country. That's unkind. That's unkind. He's like the second or third worst person in the country. Even Al Sharpton Jr. suddenly has got the word from on high. This is cut 10.
We need to reimagining how we do policing. But when you are talking about the fact that, A, we are in the areas where that is inundated with guns, that has this serious problems of our people being given guns that can't even get a summer program. To take all policing off is something that I think a latte liberal may go for as they sit around the Hamptons discussing this as some academic problem. But people living on the ground need proper policing.
You know what's crazy about this, too? Everybody's saying, yeah, but we do need police reform. And I'm always happy to reform the police. But, police are a power center. All power centers should be watched very closely. Police have guns. They have badges. They can come and say, come with me, and you have to go with them, So the police have to be watched. Not that they're not great people, most of them, but that's not the point. Any system that has power corrupts, and you got to watch them. But police over the last 3 decades have been a major success story. The problem in black neighborhoods has nothing to do with the police. Remember, when you get to the police, by the time you get to the police, every social system has failed, including the individual, right? By the time you're dealing with a cop, by the time you're fighting with a cop on the street and resisting arrest on the street, every social level has failed, including you. Okay, if there was supposed to be some safety net, it's failed. If there was supposed to be something that was going to keep you off drugs and give you hope and make sure you got married and had a good, reasonable life that was not going to lead you to this moment, all of that has failed. If there was something in you that was supposed to keep you on the beaten path, that was supposed to keep you on the straight and narrow, that's failed. The cop is just trying to keep you from hurting other people. That's the only thing he's doing. He's not a sociologist. He's not a psychologist. If you call a sociologist when you have a rape going on, you are just going to get raped and then have somebody come up and do nothing. So you need cops. Cops are the long arm of the law. Just like being a parent. I do not believe in hitting kids, but ultimately your power as a parent is physical. Ultimately, you have to be the wall that keeps the kid from running into the street, even if it means grabbing him by the collar and pulling him out of the street. And even if it does mean an occasional swat to make sure he gets the message, that's the ultimate power that people have, is physical. That's who the cops are. And basically piling everything onto them, all of the burdens of society onto them, is never going to work. But they do that because everyone else has failed all the way down the line, and nobody wants to say, oh, this is my fault. No mayor wants to say, oh, it's my fault. My policies suck. It's always the cops, because the cop is the guy who gets caught in that moment when everything has gone wrong.